Hello, I'm Roger Bonnell, the host of In Between Two Mics, hosted by Roger Bonnell. Today we are here with Karen Barfield, Senior Vice President and Director of Shared Services for Fifth Third Bank. Welcome, Karen. May I call you Karen, or do you prefer Madam Senior Vice President?
Karen's good for now.
Oh, okay, that's where I've heard of you. You're that internet famous lady that every time you go to a restaurant or a grocery store, you want to speak to the manager?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, you got me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does one become a senior vice president? Do you turn a certain age and go from vice president to senior vice president? Kind of like someone goes from citizen to senior citizen?
It's a little different than that. So, kind of as you grow throughout your career, maybe you take on different roles. When I started as a team lead and kind of moved my way through different roles. And as my career evolved, some of those titles came with those different roles. So not quite how you imagined,
Okay.
a little bit different.
So if the president dies or becomes incapacitated, do you and the other senior vice presidents play rock, paper, scissors, thumb wrestle, or have a duel to see who becomes president?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
Are you any good at rock, paper, scissors?
I am really good.
Let's see.
Okay.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I guess you are pretty good at rock, paper, scissors.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's try and get to know you a little bit better, Your
That
Highness.
sounds good.
Can you tell us a little bit?
Roger? Roger, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you live now? Do you have any children, anything like that?
Sure, yeah. So I'm originally from Michigan, from Grand Rapids. Born and raised there, lived kind of in the same area my whole life. I moved down here 13 years ago to take on this role.
And by down
Cincinnati-
here, you mean?
Into Cincinnati, sorry,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Yep. I took on this role, and part of my family moved down with me. So my son and my husband moved down. The rest of my family stayed up. So I had two other children that stayed in Grand Rapids, and then all of my siblings and the rest of my family's up there. So Sam, who's my youngest, is 25, and he still lives with us. And then we also have 4 dogs.
4 dogs.
4 dogs.
Wow. That's really interesting. So where did the future senior vice president go to college?
Well, just to be clear,
Oh.
went to Michigan State.
So-
Which, by the way, for y'all from Ohio, it's Michigan State and Michigan. People just assume you went to Michigan when you're from Michigan. It's not the case, and we do not like each other.
So Michigan State.
Yes.
Grades weren't very good in high school, were they?
Nice. This
Well-
interview's going really well.
What was your first job after college?
My first job after college was running a branch for a different bank. So I was a branch manager. I did that for about 5 years. So worked for a small bank in Michigan, and they ended up closing their offices in Grand Rapids, and that's how I ended up here at what was then Old Kent, now Fifth Third.
Wow, that's very interesting. So one of your current titles is Director of Shared Services. What is Shared Services, and what does it include? What can you tell us about the departments that are under you?
Are you a little familiar? You work in my group, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay,
Just
okay, yeah.
recently.
So there's a few distinct areas. One, let's talk about your group a little bit. So you
Okay.
work in mail services. So mail is the area that handles just what it sounds like, interoffice mail, white mail, and also all kinds of statements and notices that we mail out for the bank. So believe it or not, we still go through quite a bit of paper here at the bank, right? So we send out about 4 million statements a month. We encourage folks to get online and get those statements. So if you are not online, please do that.
Actually, go ahead and get your statements. Some of us still need a job.
Don't listen to him. So that's one of our groups. Item processing is another of the groups. So a lot of people don't write checks anymore, but believe it or not, there's still quite a few that still do. So we process about 50 million items a year that still come through us in paper.
Wow.
Yeah. So that team handles any kind of deposit that comes through the organization. So if you go to a branch, you use your phone. You use your phone to make deposits.
I try to.
I'll teach you.
Yeah. Yes.
You go to an ATM. All of that work comes through that team. That team works kind of basically 24/7, pretty much, handling files, check files that go through the bank, and for posting. So when you get a deposit and it posts to your account, that's because of that team.
And are all of those people located here in Cincinnati?
No, there's the bulk of the folks are, but then we have a group up in Grand Rapids as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of the check team. The next team is called Depositor Services, and
Wait a minute, you just said the check people handled all the deposits.
they do.
Okay,
All right.
so I'm confused. Can you
Okay.
explain
Well,
that
let's
to me?
clarify.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So part of Depositor Services has multiple teams, but one of those teams handles what we call day two for check. So let's say you write a check and you put a stop payment on it. Well, somebody's got to take care of that to make sure that that check doesn't get paid. And that goes to the Depositor Services team.
Gotcha.
An overdraft, maybe we get a check on a closed account, that kind of thing. So think of that team as kind of the exceptions and things that kick out during processing. And then the adjustments team within that world handles financial adjustments between banks. So you deposit a check from your friend who banks at Bank of America. That
Wouldn't
check,
be a friend of mine.
right. That check needs to get back to Bank of America.
Okay.
So there's an exchange there. Sometimes there's adjustments that have to happen. That team takes care of that.
Interesting.
Within Depositor Services, a few other groups. So we have kind of our tax team, and they handle a multitude of things kind of tied to tax. So some of it's day to day, some of it's monthly things that we have to do, and then they help coordinate kind of all of our year end function, which you're familiar with
Yes,
from
I
working
am.
in print and mail. So they kind of help coordinate all that, so everybody gets their tax documents on time.
Okay.
You get yours online though, right?
I actually get mine mailed to me every year. Need a job.
Okay, we gotta talk about that later. Okay. And then with the other teams within her world, within that world, excuse me, are time deposits. So that is CDs and IRAs. That group is all up in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
They handle any account that's open from a CD and IRA perspective. And then we have a branch support team that does kind of a whole variation of different jobs within Depositor Services.
Okay.
So that's kind of the deposit. Does that make more sense?
Yeah,
now,
that
the
makes a lot more
Depositor
sense
Services
now.
team. Okay, good. Let's see, what else do we have? So we've got a quality team. So that team does some quality reviews for shared services. So they check transactions that go through to make sure that we're doing things correctly, right? So they sample a bit of that, make sure that that's correct.
Okay.
And then they also handle call quality for a couple of groups throughout the bank. So we do third-party call quality, so think of like TSYS or MasterCard, people that are talking to Fifth Third customers that we want to make sure that conversation goes how it should go.
So they're kind of like your internal auditors for your group.
Kind of,
Okay.
yeah, kind of like that. And then the last two teams, one is legal operations, so that is subpoena, garnishment, and court control. So think about maybe somebody for a legal case needs copies of statements. That comes through our subpoena channel,
Wow.
so we get quite a few of those requests each
A lot of
month.
paper coming out.
A lot of paper.
Okay.
Now we're able to send those electronically, so that's good as well
Okay.
for most of those. Garnishment, which is kind of what it sounds like. So maybe one of our customers owes taxes or something, and we'll get something from a court that says, hey, we need you to check this account and then
Okay.
garnish those.
Oh, so it's not employee garnishment, it's
No.
customer garnishment.
Customer
Gotcha, that
garnishments. Yep.
Okay.
And then court control is if there's some kind of deposit account that's under control of a court where there's payments made out, we help facilitate that process.
Okay. Wow,
Good?
that's a lot. I think I got it.
Okay. Couple more groups. So one is collateral. So are you familiar with collateral?
I really don't have any collateral.
Okay. So let's say you had a car or house and you had a loan with the bank.
Okay.
The bank wants to protect their interest in that asset until you pay off that loan, and so that team takes care of all the transactions around collateral, right? Making
Okay.
sure that the bank holds their interest. And then our last team is UPS COD, which is a service that's offered by UPS where you can ship something to another person, and UPS will accept a check in payment for that. All of those checks are gathered up, brought into a central location, and then shipped up to us, and we do kind of a reconciliation of those items.
Wow.
So you can see there's kind of a hodgepodge of all different things we do in shared services.
Okay. That's all really interesting. It really is. Why is it called shared services?
Well, originally, many years ago, it used to be called check services because it was really around check, but we've grown and done so many different kinds of functions now within shared services. And if you look at operations, we are kind of split up by how we support lines of business. So there's commercial operations, there's consumer operations, there's WAM operations, and then we support all of those lines of business. So in other words, we're shared across the lines of business. So that's how we came up with the name
very
Shared Services.
apropos.
Yes, I think so too.
So this has all been very informative, Karen. Thank you
Good.
very much.
You're welcome.
But before you go, I wanted to ask you a couple rapid fire questions to let us know a little bit more about you.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
What's your favorite book?
Favorite book?
Yes.
I don't know if I could pick out one book, but I love Jodi Picoult, so I've read all of her books.
Your favorite movie?
It's sad, but Schindler's List.
Your favorite coffee house?
Oh, there's a place in downtown Milford called Forager that I love.
Okay.
But I have a little thing on my agenda over the next 6 months is to try to hit up every coffee house in Cincinnati.
All
A
right.
little goal I've got going.
Your favorite sport to watch?
I'm going to have to say football.
College or pro?
College.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite vacation location that you've been to?
I'm a big beach fan, so kind of any beach. But we just came back from a long vacation. I think my favorite place was a place called Marseille, France. It was beautiful.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
Do you prefer beer or wine?
Kind of depends on the day. If I don't say wine right now, I'm drinking wine.
Are you a talker or a texter?
Texture, for sure.
I think everyone knows that about you. What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas,
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a senator.
Are you more of a morning person or a night owl?
Totally morning person.
Oh, wow, I don't know how many people exist. If you were starving and had to eat right away, McDonald's or Taco Bell?
Oh, God. I don't like either of those, but I would go with Taco Bell.
What is your favorite go-to candy bar?
Milky Way. You knew that.
Yes, I did know that. You just won a trip. Where are you going?
I am going to England.
Do you prefer pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Museums or art galleries?
Museums.
Ice cream or cake?
Ooh, not a big fan of either. Cake.
Your most used in your personal life movie quote?
Lighten up, Francis. If you're a Stripes fan, which I am,
You either know.
you either know it or you don't.
All right.
All right.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Lakeside cabin or ocean villa?
Ocean.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. I don't understand vanilla. What's the point?
Seinfeld or Friends?
Seinfeld.
Bacon or sausage?
Ooh, bacon.
Letterman or Leno?
Oh, Letterman, all the way.
Burgers or sushi?
Sushi. Fish is to be cooked, so burgers.
Are you a chess or checkers person?
Well, I can play checkers. I don't know how to play chess, but I would like to learn someday.
In-store or online shopping?
Online.
Bagels or donuts?
Bagels.
Golf or putt-putt?
Golf.
Tennis or pickleball?
Oh, pickleball. No. Tennis. Yeah.
What is the greatest band or musician of all time?
Elvis Costello.
You're having something DoorDash for dinner. Is it Mexican or Chinese food?
Mexican.
Summer or winter?
Definitely summer.
Spring or fall?
That's a toss-up. I'm going to say spring.
Okay. Would you rather go without coffee or tea for a month, or without your phone for 2 weeks?
Oh, phone. I can't go without coffee
For a day.
like an hour.
Would you rather win a Grammy or an Academy Award?
Oh, Academy Award, definitely, which I think we'll probably get out of this. Don't you think? I
Okay.
think so.
Would you rather win an Olympic gold medal or a Nobel Prize?
Oh, Nobel Prize.
Okay, one last question for
Okay,
you. Remember, this
I'm
is
nervous. Like
rapid fire. First thing that comes to the top of your head.
Okay.
Who is your favorite and who is the greatest mail services business analyst that you've met?
Wow.
Rapid fire. Rapid fire. Rapid fire.
You know, he used to work here. I don't know where he is. Oh, I'm going to say Roger Bonnell.
Thank you very much. This is the end of the first episode of In Between Two Mics with Roger Bonnell and Karen Barfield.
Thank you so
Karen.
much, sir. It was
It's been a
great.
pleasure.